Hey guys, so all day today I was getting the message you need to meditate. I've been really clumsy lately. I've been spilling all sorts of things. I broke a light bulb like from my favorite chandelier. Today, a mirror actually fell. It wasn't my fault. We were both upstairs and the mirror just fell by itself. But there's been all sorts of things that have been happening where I'm like, I need to root into a new frequency, which makes sense because I haven't rooted into the new frequency that I came back in from Mexico. So it does all make sense. Anyways, I was wanting to meditate today. And even when when I was gonna finally sit down for meditation, I was like, oh, I need to get my headphones. I need an incense. I need the right song. I blah, blah, blah. I need this. I need that. And need to make it just perfect. And my guides are like, stop, like just stop, drop, and meditate. You're just trying to procrastinate even more, even though you're doing it for your meditation. Like, you don't need anything. You've got you and yourself, and just sit down and just stop, drop, and meditate. So that was my last thing, was to put my headphones in and get some good music, because I felt like for once, meditating to trance music, which I usually only listen to at the gym. Um, yeah, for some reason, I just going into meditations with different intentions. Like, I do like to use an incense. What I do is I typically hold them in my hand like a prayer, and put my intention into them, whether I speak it or I just, put my energy into the incense, and then I like to light it, and then I like to think that when it's finished burning, that it is my wish or my intention that is released into the universe, and that, during that time I've added momentum to it with my meditation as well, to that intention. Um, but yeah, I just felt like raising my vibration in general. I just felt like anchoring into this new frequency and expanding, and I didn't really have like a specific vision or something that I wanted clarity on. So I just listened to psytrance, and I like the songs that I listened to. And I thought, I'm just gonna get my laptop and put it in front of me and just write what comes to me. So like, I have my eyes closed, I'm sitting on the ground and have like a little box, and I have my laptop on top of there, and I just have my eyes closed, and I'm just like vibing, and I'm just typing away of whatever's coming through me, which I wanted to share with you guys because I often wonder if we're not all just, experiencing the same thing and not talking about it, or if it would help some of you to connect deeper to your spiritual self, to that source energy part of you. And if all of us start to tap into that, we can be so much more powerful as a collective, and we will reclaim our collective power too, which is like the point. So these are the points that came through, and I'm reading from my laptop, so sorry if I look down. But for the people that are afraid of encountering something bad, or they're afraid of going deeper into, meditation, it stops a lot of people from meditating, because they're afraid of what they're going to encounter. They're like, I don't know, I want to stay in this realm. I want to stay where I have control, kind of thing. But it's only natural that you would feel that way because you've been taught to be afraid of your power, and that's really what you're actually tuning into. When you meditate, you're tuning into prana energy. It's power energy that's moving through your body. So whether it's the government that's been programming you and conditioning you since day one, or to be afraid of your own power, or you have been taught through religion, that an empty space is like, so this is actually like a slogan that my church used. So if you have religious backing or background, what is it? Empty space is still a place. Empty space is still a place. And that's where the devil's going to come in and swoop in and hijack your brain. That could be the biggest pile of shit I've ever heard, because looking back, I'm like, how could they lie to me like that? How could they lie to me like that? The devil is not going to get me when I am connecting to my authenticity, that spiritual part of me, that source energy extension part of me. When I'm tuning into that, that's not when the devil's going to come and get me. He's going to get me when I'm like flipping people off in traffic, and when I'm rushing around, and when I'm out of balance, and when I'm klutzy, and then I'm late. And like, that's where you start spiraling. Hello. Know that when you go deeper into meditation, that you just become more connected to source energy. You just become more of who you actually are, because the greater part of you still remains non-physical. This physical skin suit is just like the last form of manifestation. The rest of it is up here. My guides also said, lighten up. Like, don't take meditation so seriously. You don't have to sit a certain way and be really, really still. You don't have to breathe in a rhythmic way and keep on top of that. It's not so structured all the time. Like, you don't have to do it a certain way. Just allow for whatever comes up to come up. And like, allow yourself to have fun, allow yourself, like, to your brain to play, allow yourself to just flow. Like, sometimes your body will start moving, sometimes your neck might start moving, sometimes your body will start vibing. Sometimes things make you laugh, and then you laugh and you're like, oh, that's, you kind of come in and out of the 3D and the 5D realm. Sometimes I'm just saying, okay, so 3D to 5D realm. So you kind of like either go deeper into the 5D realm and higher and more like disassociated with your body. You kind of start to feel, disassociated from your body, float higher and higher and higher and higher. And then you might come back down and come out of that again. And that's all good. Like, allow these things to happen. There's no right way to do it. So the guide said, lighten up, have some fun, allow for flow to happen in your body. Oh yeah, the other question that came up was like, why was I taught that being in a trance-like state was bad? I was taught that it was somehow associated with like demonic or bad, because you don't have control anymore. You don't have full control of your reality. But when you think about it, shamans for hundreds of years got powerful visions to navigate through centuries by going into a trance-like state and receiving downloads, receiving visions. So yeah, it's just crazy how much they lied. I wanted to talk about feeling into that feeling of abundance too. So abundance is not necessarily, like I said at the beginning, you're not necessarily going to go into a meditation with an intention and like of feeling abundant and feeling luxury. So it's not like you're going to get a vision board of, you might, but it's not like you're going to get like a vision board of like the private jet you want to travel in, and the clothes you're going to wear, the exact outfit that's going to make you feel luxurious, and all the things. You don't necessarily get snapshots and visions of what that is exactly going to look like in your life. It's more of an energy. And when you really start having a healthy relationship with abundance, is when you realize that it's an energy. And so in meditation, it's more so that you just like allow yourself to feel better and better and better and better, and more abundant and more abundant and more abundant. And I wish you guys could see my hands continuing to go. And you start to feel like you start to feel this big, and you expand and keep going. And it feels like you're just opening up to more good, more good, more good. That process in itself can be kind of scary for some people, because they're not used to letting that much. It sounds so bad, but yeah, this is how controlled and how smooshed down we've been, like that we're afraid to let ourselves feel really fucking good, and then more and more and more and more and more. And the better we feel and the more we release, we actually start to disassociate with our physical bodies. And that can feel like a freaky thing. But my guides, I used to feel really scared. I mean, it's always, never mind how much you meditate, it's when you go deeper, it's always going to be unfamiliar, uncharted territory, right? So, but it gets easier. I remember when I first started meditating that I was afraid to even like hit the yoga mat and just like tune in. And over the years, my guides have taught me to if you're opening up and it's too much, because with that simultaneously, that opening up of energy, you actually feel higher vibration in your body. And when your body is not used to embodying that higher vibration, it's like, "Whoa, too much, too much, too much, too much." And a lot of people just pull right out and be like, fuck that, I'm not doing it anymore. But the guides want you to know that you have control over it, and that when you feel like you're at a level where you're like, whew, okay, this is a lot of energy flow. Like I need to relax into this level of feeling good. So I see it like an elevator. So if you are riding up this elevator, you can stop at the sixth floor and get out and vibe for a little bit before you feel like you're ready to let go more. So you're in control. And like, yeah, sometimes I'll feel a lot of energy moving through my body. I feel very sort of like disassociated from my physical body. I don't necessarily want to go deeper. I don't necessarily want to go higher at that point, because I just need to I need to regulate in my nervous system. And it's actually like a somatic thing that happens in your body. It's in your somatic system, in your nervous system, of feeling that good. And that's how essentially that you heal your body, is allowing for your nervous system to also feel really good and feel really light. And this is also how you can receive downloads. Like when you think of a thought, let's say you think of that you would really want to speak on stages someday. I've been hearing a lot of people say like, I'm meant for more. I feel like I'm meant to speak on stages one day. I just feel like I'm meant to have a huge impact on people. You can literally embody those codes. They came to you as a thought form, and instead of just leaving them as a thought out there, fucking embody that shit in your body and feel those quantum codes coming into your DNA, upgrading your DNA, fully embodying that, so you actually become that and you fully embody that download in that now moment. So you're not like putting it off for later. And that's part of the cool thing about meditating more and more and more, is that you get to like integrate it into your daily life. And there's times where I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking dinner and I have a spatula in my hand, and all of a sudden I get a thought and I'm like, this is something that I want to embody, that I want to download right now, so that I am actually anchoring in those frequencies in the physical realm, that it doesn't just remain out in the nebulous, but I'm actually like embodying it. I will literally close my eyes, stand there, and I can feel that energy coming in. And as it goes down, down, down into my feet and into my hands, like sometimes my body will like feel that, literally will feel that energy, kind of those quantum codes coming into my DNA. And then at the end of it, when I'm like, ready to come back out, it'll feel like sort of 0 point energy. My body's zipped up. I've completely grounded and coded, calibrated to that energy, that frequency. And then it sort of feels like this 0 point. It's like, it's a zip file. Okay, we're done. And then I'm like, I come out of it, I'm like holding my spatula, like, holy shit, like where was I? It doesn't take long. It's not like I'm out for fucking 20 minutes like narcoleptic. It's like maybe like it's like the length of a song. But it's that part is too, like I get it. It can be freaky to disconnect with this 3D space-time reality. It's even weirder when you're not like meditating, and when you just like start to accept those downloads immediately, and you're doing something like cooking in the kitchen, to all of a sudden stand there and go somewhere else, and then feel yourself coming back, and you're like, whoa, where was I? It takes a certain level of trust in the universe to be able to surrender to that and unplug from this 3D space-time reality. And you have to trust. I mean, of course, be safe. Don't make sure you're not going to start a fire or anything, but understand that your guides, trust your guides to protect you. And it can make you feel even it can make you feel vulnerable. Like if you're at the beach and you're meditating and you don't actually know what's going on around you, it takes a certain level of trust to go deeper. I actually really enjoy meditating in public for that reason, because it tests me to build my trust with the universe. When I'm sitting on the beach and I don't know if somebody's going to come up and rob my purse, but that's not true. Yeah, I do, because I could feel their frequency coming from a mile away if I'm connected to source energy. That's the kind of shit that I'm talking about here. It's kind of shit that goes through my mind and how I'm learning to go deeper and deeper. But for the people that are afraid of going deeper, I hope this helps. Um, anyways, yeah, so rewind. We are talking about how I was taught, I don't know if you were, I was taught that like a trance-like state is bad or not good, or at the very least. I was taught full blown in the church that it was like demonic. But when I go into trance-like states and my whole body will start to move and I'm somewhere else, and whether I'm listening to psytrance music like I was when I was getting downloads for this last meditation, or whether I'm just vibing, but this is where I get my best business ideas. This is where I tap into that energy of abundance and flow and opening up and expanding and getting lighter and getting more and more and more and tapping into that power, super, super powerful energy. I can feel my aura getting brighter, getting stronger. I realize that I'm connected. You're connected to everything. And when you're connected to everything in the quantum realm, you're like, fuck yeah, this is a lot of power, but it's flowing through you in a safe way. Okay. And when you feel like you need to just regulate that or get used to that vibration, take a break and then ask yourself if you want to go further and you want to go even higher or even farther away from this 3D reality. Or ask yourself if you want to slowly come back out. And which that brings me to another point, is that it's really important that you don't just come back right into this reality. The deeper you go, the farther out there you go, way out there, you're going to have to pull that back in. And it's a process. You can start to feel yourself coming back, down into the vortex, down into your physical body. Then it takes a while for your physical body. I often find that that's the slowest part of it, is recalibrating the nervous system and allowing for the nervous system to actually come back into the body. And you get sort of this winding down, feeling grounded. Take a couple deep breaths. That was intense kind of thing. And then when you feel like, okay, I'm here, I'm present, and then you open your eyes. So it takes a while to come back from it. This is like the safe way to do it. I guess this is like the safe way to meditate. It doesn't have to be scary. To wrap it up though, I actually have a really, really something really deep to share with you guys. But the church couldn't have been more wrong. When when anybody is tuning into meditation and they're tuning into their true authenticity, that's where your uniqueness comes from, because you're actually tapping into that authentic blueprint of only you and what you're getting from source energy, and you're filling up with what you should be filling up with, your source. You're becoming more unique, more yourself, and shutting out all of what the world told you to be and your conditioning and all of that. You're shutting that out and you're actually connecting with your true authentic blueprint. And did you know that authenticity, I feel like I heard these numbers right, is 4,000 times higher frequency than love? People say that love is the highest frequency. No, it's actually authenticity, because when you're truly authentic, when you're truly yourself, the closer you are, the more authentic you are, the more yourself you are, the closer to source energy you are, because you're an extension of source energy, God, the universe, however you want to say it. I like to use God or source energy. You're an extension of that. So the closer you get to that higher self, that non-physical part of you, that spiritual part of you, you are a spiritual being having a human experience, not a human intermittently having these spiritual encounters or these spiritual experiences. The more you merge your physical body with that higher spirit self, the more authentic you become, the more closer to source energy you are. That's what you are. You're like your love, light, pure positive energy. So there's really nothing bad that can come from connecting to source energy and connecting to through meditation. One thing I will say is that when you're first starting out, you're going to basically realize and see it's not going to be so easy. You're not going to just right up to the top. There's going to be a lot of shit that you encounter because you've been bombarded with A lot of things that, you're scrolling on your phone, the propaganda, the noise, the messages, the family lineage, the ancestral imprints that you're carrying, the lies that have been passed down for thousands and thousands of years, the history that's been cut out, our authentic, our power that's been dummied down, our pineal gland that's been calcified. Like there's just so many things that have caused this disconnection. And when you first start to meditate, you will encounter some really like fucked up thoughts or some like images that you see. And like a lot of it has to do with what you're seeing through your phone. And your third eye can no longer, you can't create. So it's not like creating and shining its light like a projector screen kind of. It's being just boom, 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 image, 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 propaganda, programming, programming, programming. And it's like a screen door that stops this creativity from flowing. And actually that creativity, that third eye wants to expand and wants to shine its light onto the world. And boof, there's this brick wall that it can't shine through. So you're going to encounter a lot of that sort of like noise when you first start trying to meditate. And I always use the analogy of those rivers of trash in India. You have to wade through those rivers of trash before it opens out to the open ocean and you don't get that garbage so much anymore. But when you if you haven't meditated for a really long time, or you've never meditated, or you've always been too afraid to go in and go deeper, you're gonna encounter a lot of that trash at the beginning. I just want you to know that's super normal. And I want you to just not judge yourself for thinking that. If you are really spiraling, you can always come out of the meditation. You remember, you're always in control. You can always come out of the meditation and be like, whoo, reprogram, just regroup, and then go back into it and possibly set your intention again to open up to the light. I always find that resetting an intention and protecting myself energetically with white light and envisioning that first helps to then have a better meditation, a better experience. But most of the time, it'll just be like mind chatter or the to-do list or things that are coming up. And nobody's saying that you have to remember, there's no rules. It's not you have to sit there really super still. Grab a notebook and write down the to-do list, write down the things that are coming so that they're out of your head and on paper so that you can actually go higher, go more, go deeper. Okay, this is going to be the last thing that I say. And this is something that is really mind-blowing. So you've been warned. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about that came through for my meditation was for all of the people that feel guilty that there are people in this world that are suffering, and why should you thrive? Why should you prosper? You have to understand that we are coexisting in there's infinite number of parallel universes that are coexisting simultaneously at the same time. So everybody is in a slightly different dimension, and this is so crazy, but we're shifting in between these parallel realities billions of times per second. This is according to Bashar as well. When you shift into higher frequency through meditation and that feeling of surrendering to the better it is, the better it is, the better it is, and allowing yourself to open up to that and feel good and feel lighter, you are actually shifting into higher frequency, better outcome, parallel realities where your experience of life will be better, more abundant, happier. And ever since I've been meditating, my life has gotten better and better and better and better. And when I stop meditating, life gets worse and worse again. And when you start plugging in, I've talked to so many people that I actually talked to a patient that one patient that I remember this so clearly. He goes, we were talking about meditation. He goes, yeah, do you meditate? I'm like, oh yeah. He's like, I was meditating for a while and my life got exponentially better. I don't know why I really stopped. I guess I just didn't make the time for it anymore, but I should get back into it because my life was noticeably better when I was meditating. And I never really forgot that. That's the truth. It's so true. But when you understand that you're shifting into parallel realities, you're actually not in the same reality anymore as the person that is not thriving. Like literally, you're not in the same dimension. So you can't feel, you don't have to feel guilty about it because you've done the vibrational work to actually shift into a parallel reality. You can still see different realities sometimes, the same way that if you or I saw somebody sitting in their car with their mask on alone, we can see each other, but you're like, dude, what planet are you on? Like, you and I are on such incredibly different timelines, because I would never at this stage sit in my car alone with a mask on. Like, you can still see the different realities, but you're just going to be shifting into different realities. So don't feel guilty about thriving while other people are suffering, because when you're doing the vibrational work to open up to that goodness, that authenticity, when you're doing it through meditation, and that's how you're creating your abundance, which is super exciting, you don't have to feel guilty about it. You know that you did the vibrational work and that everybody can do that work as well. So that's the key here. Everybody can do that vibrational work. I know some people are born more privileged than others. I get that. But it doesn't change the fact that everybody is capable of this. So anyways, the church was wrong. My parents were wrong. The government is just trying to distract you from this amazing quantum interdimensional being that you are, and your life will get exponentially better if you meditate.